Well, if it can't be any clearer than I've never taken drugs, then incidents like that could never have happened.
Welcome to Watch Mojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 sports cheating rumors that turned out to be true.
I've never felt overmatched on the baseball field. I've always been in a very strong, dominant position.
For this list, we'll be looking at notorious moments when whispers of athletes breaking the rules turned out to be true and exploring the fallout from that drama. Have you ever cheated in sports? Let us know below. Number 10, the 1988 Olympics fallout.
Everybody cheats. Who doesn't cheat in life? Everybody cheats in taxes. Everybody cheats in everything. Why Ben Johnson?
Shortly after Ben Johnson won the 100-meter race of the Summer Olympics in Seoul, South Korea, grabbing the moniker of the world's fastest man as he smashed records, it was discovered he was doping.
Johnson's urine sample, tested twice in this laboratory, came up positive both times.
With the Canadian stripped of his accomplishments, murmurs began to erupt about other athletes. Before Johnson's deception was discovered, Bulgarian weightlifters Angel Genchev and Mitko Grablev were already stripped of their gold medals. Judo athlete Kareth Brown from the UK had his bronze medal taken away for failing. Afghan wrestler Alidad was disqualified. And Hungarian weightlifter Andor Sani had his silver medal removed, among several other athletes who were also doping. It was a pretty dark time in Olympic history.
I dope and I'm sorry. I have to live with that.
Number 9, SpyGate.
I made a mistake. I was wrong. I was wrong.
Shortly after Bill Belichick became the head coach at the New England Patriots, the NFL side began a dominant run in the early 2000s. While most credit it to great tactics, some other franchises thought something else more deceptive was going on. And in September 2007, after the Patriots beat the New York Jets, the truth was discovered. A video assistant was spotted in an unauthorized place filming hand signals by the Jets' defensive coaches, breaking the league's rules. The NFL was livid.
If they know before the snap of the ball what your coverage basically is, they can chew you up and spit you out.
They fined the Patriots $250,000 and were stripped of their first-round draft pick in 2008 if they made the playoffs, while Belichick was fined the maximum of $500,000.
Forget about that. If we were wrong, then we've been disciplined for that.
Number 8, Spain's Paralympic basketball team.
The Spanish team were I think, laughed at and labelled the most unsporting team in history. I mean, unsporting is the wrong word, it's a euphemism for cheating.
As Spain entered their men's intellectually disabled basketball team in the Summer Paralympics in Sydney, Australia in 2000, they started really strong, too strong. Soon there were rumors that the Spanish team wasn't what they said they were. Regardless, the team went on to win the gold.
After beating the Russians in the final, they posed for a victorious team shot and were splashed all over the front page of Marca, the biggest paper in Spain.
Then Carlos Rigaborda, a member of the winning squad as well as a journalist, leaked the truth.
At the beginning, I thought that it was totally impossible for someone to be capable of carrying out something like this. It just seemed completely incredible, and that was the reason why I got involved.
Fernando Martín Vicente, the then president of the Spanish Sports Federation for People with Intellectual Disability, had smuggled non-disabled athletes into the team. Only 2 of the 12 players had a disability. The Spanish side was stripped of the gold.
They'd lost a spectacular gamble and in doing so had given the International Paralympic Committee its greatest PR disaster of all time.
Number 7, Rosie Ruiz.
I know what I did and I will prove it again in the future.
Having finished in a respectable place in the 1979 New York Marathon and securing her position at the 1980 Boston event, newcomer Rosie Ruiz did the impossible by winning the race. To top it off, her time meant she was the fastest woman in its history. But as soon as she finished, there were doubters.
Have you been doing a lot of heavy intervals? Someone else has been. I'm not sure what intervals are.
Ruiz didn't look too tired after running the grueling 26 miles. Then her resting heart rate was 76, much higher than the average top marathon runner, which would be closer to 50. With this in mind, investigators discovered that Ruiz only appeared in images in the last stretch of the race. So they stripped her of her Boston win and later her New York result from her.
I believe that maybe after this, whether you prove me guilty or not, which I am not, there will be more coverage of women crossing the finish line during 26 miles. It's not fair.
Number 6, Bloodgate. In 2009, rugby union side Harlequins were losing to Leinster in the European Rugby Champions Cup. After Nick Evans was subbed off due to injury, his replacement also had to go off. This left the team without a good kicker. But the problem was resolved when Tom Williams got a blood injury, allowing Evans to return. This caused the Leinster staff to go livid. They knew something was up, and boy was it.
Who punched Tom Williams in the mouth? Tom Williams?
Williams was handed a blood capsule to feign injury and was purposely cut later to mask the deception. Yet Harlequins still lost the match.
During a break in play, Williams was called over by the club physio. Steph came onto the pitch and told me to change positions with David Strettle. At this point, Steph handed me a blood capsule. I instinctively placed the capsule in my sock, as there was nowhere else to put it.
Williams was banned for 4 months after an appeal. The physio was struck off for 2 years, and then director of rugby Dean Richards was banned for 3 years.
Listen, I took full responsibility for it. I mean, it's a farcical situation, it really was.
Number 5, Hans Neiman. In September 2022, world champion chess player Magnus Carlsen suddenly resigned from the Sinkfield Cup tournament. Immediately, the chess world lit up with murmurs that the Norwegian was hinting at the Americans cheating. When the two faced each other again, Carlsen withdrew after one move.
What happened? That's it?
He then hinted at something untoward going on. This was confirmed when Carlsen came out and accused Neiman of cheating.
He pointed to Neiman's unusual mannerisms during the game he lost to the American.
Then Chess.com released a report that claimed Neiman cheated in over 100 matches, sometimes with prize money involved. The American Grandmaster denied the allegations and issued a lawsuit against Carlsen, Chess.com, and others for $100 million in damages.
This is a targeted attack, and if you look at my games, this is not, it has nothing to do with my games.
Number 4, Alex Rodriguez.
For the record, have you ever used steroids, human growth hormone, or any other performance-enhancing substance?
No.
In 2009, after years of denial, baseball legend Alex Rodriguez publicly admitted he used steroids during his tenure with the Texas Rangers from 2001 to 2003.
I did take a banned substance, and for that, I'm very sorry and deeply regretful.
From there, his reputation was in tatters. So much so that when the Biogenesis of America scandal happened in 2013, where several baseball players were found to be using performance-enhancing substances, A-Rod was immediately linked to it. With enough evidence, the MLB banned Rodriguez for the 2014 season.
Commissioner Alan Selig announced today that third baseman Alex Rodriguez of the New York Yankees has been suspended without pay for the remainder of the 2013 championship season and postseason, and the entire 2014 championship season for violations to the Joint Drug Prevention and Treatment Program and the Basic Agreement.
He publicly and strongly denied the allegations by unsuccessfully appealing the ban. He even went so far as to sue the MLB before dropping the case. But then in 2014, A-Rod admitted to using PEDs.
This is essentially rock bottom for Alex Rodriguez. This was someone who was a 3-time league MVP, a World Series champion, and now he's on the same level as Lance Armstrong.
Number 3, match-fixing wrestlers. For years, the world of sumo wrestling has been connected to rumors of match-fixing stemming from organized crime. Even the suspicious passing of Kotetsu Yuma Toyoya in 1996 was speculated to involve the Yakuza. In 2000, the legendary wrestler Itai Keisuke publicly claimed that match-fixing was rampant in the sport. By 2011, the proof came out after several wrestlers were found to have been involved in a Yakuza-run betting ring. The police found evidence of sumo match-fixing on their cell phones. Those involved conspired to script the ending of bouts, even choosing the final moves in exchange for cash. Many wrestlers and trainers were found guilty of the deception and were forced to retire from the sport. Number 2, Russian athletics.
Millions of citizens of Russia are united by the Olympic dream. Our national pledge to you is the choice of Sochi is the best choice.
While there had been secret speculation for a few years in the sporting world that Russia was running a mass doping scheme, the spotlight really shone on the nation after the 2014 Winter Olympics in Sochi, Russia.
Athletes whose national federation is suspended by the IAAF are ineligible for competition held under the IAAF rules, including the Olympic Games.
At that point, the host nation topped the table by winning a whopping 33 medals. In 2016, Grigory Rodchenkov, who is the director of Russia's anti-doping agency, came forward with proof that the country had been using performance-enhancing substances for years.
The World Anti-Doping Agency releasing findings from their investigation, saying over 1,000 Russian athletes competing in summer, winter, and Paralympic sport can be identified as being involved in or benefiting from manipulations to conceal positive doping tests.
In 2017, the International Olympic Committee banned Russia from the 2018 Winter Olympics. This was followed by a 4-year ban in 2019, which was reduced to 2 years, for Russian athletes at major worldwide events.
This represents the most severe sanction yet for a doping scandal which shocked the world.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications. Number 1, Lance Armstrong. In 2006, cyclist Lance Armstrong was cementing his legacy as the best to ever ride a saddle after winning his 7th consecutive Tour de France. But then, after years of rumors, news came out that 2 witnesses in sworn testimony claimed he was heard talking about doping in 1996. Armstrong denied the allegations, but they continued to follow him over the years.
I've said it for 7 years. I've said it for longer than 7 years. I have never doped.
By 2012, with further evidence coming to light, Armstrong was banned from competition and was stripped of his wins since 1998 by the United States Anti-Doping Agency.
UCI will ban Lance Armstrong from cycling, and UCI will strip him of his 7 Tour de France titles. Lance Armstrong has no place in cycling.
While he didn't appeal the decision, he denied the allegations. Yet in 2013, in an interview with Oprah Winfrey, Armstrong admitted to using performance-enhancing substances, ruining his reputation in the process.
Yes or no? Did you ever take banned substances to enhance your cycling performance?
Yes.
Yes or no? Was one of those banned substances EPO?
Yes.
Did you enjoy this video? Check out these other clips from WatchMojo, and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.